This time we will be upgrading the clutch cable on my Indian Scout. This is a stainless steel braided clutch cable from Barnett. You may notice that the brake cables on the Indian Scout are braided stainless steel. They're kind of wrapped in a nice plastic, but nonetheless. And then the factory clutch cable is this black thing, and it looks kind of out of place in some ways. It kind of matches the wiring harness, but we will be replacing it. Why am I replacing it? Well, a lot of people say that replacing it makes the clutch feel way better, smoother, easier to engage smoothly. But if you'll notice on mine, it may be hard to see. There you go, you can see it from this angle. See all the kinks? My cable is kinked in a whole bunch of places. My clutch cable seems to be failing. With the Rekluse clutch, which you guys haven't seen me install yet, but you will be seeing soon once I get it all dialed in. I think this clutch cable is my last problem. Anyways, with the Rekluse clutch, this cable remains under tension at all times. And I think it's causing this less than stellar clutch cable to collapse on itself. So we're going to get it swapped out. Should allow me to adjust this thing without so much hassle. Like it should stay where I set it. So we are going to go over removing the clutch cable today. I may have to remove the lower heat shield on this exhaust. We shall see. There we go. Hopefully this angle works well for seeing what I'm doing. You can kind of see my gremlin bell down here. Let's see. First thing we're going to want to do is loosen this clutch cable. Bring that all the way in. And I think we're going to have to undo the bracket that the cable goes through. I like to put a pair of vice grips on the cable itself to hold it from rotating while I'm doing this. It'd be nice to have a wrench that was this exact size, but right now I don't. And this is a 12 lock nut, and the cable adjuster is a 10. There we go. I'll back the lock nut all the way up. There we go, and we're going to bring the cable down to meet it. Take all the tension out of the cable, or at least most of it. Okay, that's all the way down. Now, let's see how the arm feels, or the lever feels. Okay, yeah, I've got slack in the lever now. Yep. So now the trick is to getting it out of this, and I've done this in the past. I need to loosen up my vice grips. Go, and then pop the cables out. There we go. Alright, now we just have to get the cable keeper down here. We take the top nut off, all the way off. There's a rubber grommet on here. We're going to want to remove that. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get this cable out without removing the bracket from the bike. Just two Allen bolts that hold it in place. Let's see. Pull it down. Oh, yep, we can get it out. Okay, cool. So, we're out. What I did was I undid this top bolt all the way, and I pulled it down, and then this cable fits through the notch on the bracket just fine. So there we go. Now I gotta undo some zip ties. Get this zip tie that wasn't hooked to anything. I might as well cut it off now, it's in my way. There we go. And the one that I used to put it onto the bracket. There we go. Now, I may have to pull this shield off, we shall see. There's a bolt here. I'm going to start with this bolt on the end. Alright, this shield was real easy. You see this bolt right here? There's one on each side that goes into the plastic shroud that goes around here, so then it just falls off the bike. Didn't get a video of that. No big deal. Ooh. Something took a nice gouge into the radiator there. Oh well, it's not leaking. Here's the clutch cable, and you can see a kink here, you can see a kink here, a kink here. This whole cable has completely structurally failed. It goes up past where you can even see on the film here. Now, there's our problem. Look at that. The strands are coming out of the cable here. So, this is clearly a completely failed cable. I mean, it's not even. On this side they're this short, and on this side they're this long. So this cable is completely done. So this should clear up a lot of things. Now we can remove the clutch cable from the top. This part's real easy. Comes out like that, and then we're done. Now I will pull it out the bottom. It's going to come through the center here. Try not to get too much grease on stuff. And then it's going to drop out the bottom. Let's go back to the bottom view. Alright, next up, just drop the cable down through here. Ta-da! Cable's out. We don't have much need of the rest of this cable. There was one person online who wanted to know if you could transfer this to the new cable. I don't see why not. It's going to want to go this way, so it's got to come up over all of this. Which it's not really intended to go over this stop nut here. It's meant to just go this far and stop, but I suppose we can work it up. There we go, almost there, and poof. Just a little shoving. I didn't even have to lube it. There we go. Same thing with this stop nut at the bottom of the cable. Oh, the stop nut's loose, so let's make it tight real quick. There we go. Now it'll be easier to shove over it. My hands are getting all greasy because the end of this cable is lubed. Alright. Oh, the end of this that was crimped on just pulled off. That's real high quality right there. Okay, so there we go. We got it off. Now we remember it goes on like this. So we'll want to put it on the same way on the new cable. Now, if you notice one thing about this cable, let me back the camera up some. If you notice one thing about this cable, it's got a little bit of a curve to it here, but otherwise this is a completely straight cable, end to end. No, and not to mention all the kinks, but okay, so there's that. This new cable, you'll notice, has a nice 90-degree bend built into it. That's got to do something for making it smoother, because when it comes up into this thing, it's definitely going around a 90-degree bend. So, let's pop this open. There. We recommend that the cable ends be coated with oil or light grease when installing and servicing the cable. Do not use aerosol oilers for lubricating braided cables. Oil can be forced into braiding. Okay. So it does come with some lube. Cable lubricant. All cable fittings, barrels, eyelets, etc. should be lubricated before installation. Coat all bearing surfaces and attachment areas. Okay. So we'll get to that. Alright, so this cable is way higher quality. Oh, and it does have a plastic sheath over it, just like the brake lines up there, so it really does match the bike quite well. Alright, so this end, we should probably fish this up through the junction right here that I came out of. There we go. Now I can feed it up to the front. And come up. Let me reposition the camera again. This should be a good angle. So we're going to fish this cable up through the fork here. There we go. Oh, that's a nice little thing to hook this on in here. Maybe I need to, no, I need to come this way, don't I? Okay. You can kind of see where the cable's supposed to run inside here. Now, I'm going to go straight up into this. I need to grease this end of it before I put it on. Alright, before I do this, pardon the noise in the background, we need to put this back on. So let's pull this cable back out again and get this fished back in. Alright. Okay, so we got the nipple down here and the slightly wider part here. This is a little bit snug. There we go. That was the hard part. Now we just run this down to the far end. Alright, back to where we were. Push this cable up through the center here and back up to that. Grab our cable lubricant. Put a little grease on the end so that nothing binds. If you really want to be clever about this, you could take some brake cleaner and clean all the old grease out of here. There we go. Where'd it go? Here we go. A little white lubricant on here. Alright, and then we're going to want to grease the cable itself. Get the excess off my fingers and onto the cable. Shouldn't need to squirt anymore. There we go. Put that in a clean place. Just rub some grease into the cable here so that rain doesn't get to the cable and rust it, and we'll work some into the hose here. Alright, now we're going to hook this back in here. It just kind of goes up. If you've ever worked on a bicycle, you can do this. And then, poof, cable's installed. Ta-da! Let me pull the cable from the other end, you'll see that lever retract. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Now let's go hook up the other end and we're almost done. Another thing the old cable had, here's the old cable again, is this rubber bushing to keep rain out of the cable. Because the cable's facing up, rain will want to follow it down into the sheath. So this seems like it's important. It's not included on the new cable, so I'm going to try and get it off this one. It's going to be really hard to get such a tight nipple over the barrel. Okay, I failed. It's tearing. It's just not going to work. So we managed to... we've managed to tear it. So this is not going to be possible. That's a shame. I wish I would have put one on here from the factory, but it is what it is. Alright. Next up, we've got to get it through here. I'm going to lube this next. That's what we're going to do next. Let me walk you through how to adjust this thing. So, to get my my little sealer off here. So, we've got this. This is the gap that we can create. We've also got a gap over here. So this is the adjuster. You just turn this out, and the cable sheath gets longer, which makes the internal part shorter, pulls it more. And then here's the lock screw. What's nice now is I don't have to use pliers. These are all going to be the same size. These are all 10s. Yes. Maybe 3/8 even. Anyways, whatever size this happens to be, I think 10s will work. 3/8 might be even better. But anyways, yeah, that's how you adjust it. I'm going to pull this all the way back because with the position I have my arm in right now, this may be where that has to stay. So, first up is grease. Cable lubricant. Okay, so let's lubricant our cable some more. I'm going to put some grease in the end of this. And on the cable itself. Alright, now let's get you all nice and lubed up. I want to put some down there a little bit. There we go. We're going to get the end here. Alright. That ought to do nicely. I'm going to find something to wipe my fingers off on. Okay, so we're going to fish this back up in here the same way that we got it out. There we go. Oh, first we got to get one of these lock nuts off. What size are these? Oops. They are going to be 13 millimeter now instead of 12. Okay, probably 1/2 inch actually. I've got a 1/2 inch wrench around here. This thing seems to be not metric. Alright. There we go, we got it through. Cable is all joined up. So, get this lock nut started again. There we go, 1/2 inch. Oh, didn't quite see it yet. There we go. A little bit tighter. Good, good and stuck. Now, next up is to get this cable barrel back into the end of this. So, bring that down. Okay, that's as far as we can go. And what that tells me is, so we've got you all in. Let's try that. There we go. Now the cable's in. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video right here. This is how you change the clutch cable. Put the we've got the plastic shield back on. Like I said, this bolt here, and there's one on the other side that's the same. Take those off, the plastic cover falls off, and then you can run the cable in through the inside of it. The next thing you're going to want to do is adjust the free play of the clutch lever. You check your service manual for that, but you just want it to have a little bit of slack, not too much. I think it's like a 1/4 inch at the end of the lever. So that's where adjusting this will come in handy. You're going to want to adjust this out. See, you turn this and this comes out. That makes the cable longer, which gets you your free play set. And then you set the lock. You lock that. Use a couple of 3/8 inch wrenches or maybe a couple of 10 millimeters. So here's a couple of 10s. Put one on here, one on there. And yeah, they're close enough to 10 that, yeah, you just lock it. And boom. You adjust that out until your lever feels just right, and you're done. And then if you put this rubber grommet on like I did, you're just going to scoot it out. Looks like it stops about there. So that'll help keep rain out of the cable. And that's all there is to it.